Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and we're going to start out with what I consider to be very spooky news. Spooky for the United States with its status as the world reserve currency. Ukraine-Russia crisis is driving countries to explore new ways of pricing oil, Qatar says. Their foreign minister has told the CNBC that some countries are considering a parallel system of pricing oil as the economic impacts of the Ukraine crisis hit home. It comes after Wall Street WSJ reported that Saudi Arabia is in accelerated talks with China to accept yuan instead of dollars for oil that Beijing buys. And then it goes on with stepping up, holding talks. Anyway, bottom line is, folks, this is what you call the death of the petrodollar. And if the petrodollar dies, the standard of living of people in the United States of America completely implodes. And so keep your eyes on this. Now, what I really think is that all of this is a planned demolition of the current system where we roll into digital assets. And I've told you before on this channel, I was told, I won't say who told me, and it's not a source or whatever, but I was told by someone 3 years ago that XRP was created to prevent World War III and that it was for the purpose of replacing the petrodollar. I was told that. Were they right? We shall see. But I was told that. Okay, now moving along. Top 10 mentions on Twitter in the last hour. Look at XRP above all of these, folks. It tells a tale. Now, Mac Attack says still in play. XRP is still on track. With this projection, nothing has changed. And if this projection, nothing has changed, I sure hope he's right. 265, what would you do with that? Let's pause for a second and reflect. What would you do with a $265 XRP? If you woke up this morning and XRP was $265, what would you do? I'm trying to think what I would do. Well, I can promise you I would be staring at my phone a little bit. I'll put it that way. But I would do some things. Now, I'm not going to play this video. This is Perry-Ann Boring from the Chamber of Digital Commerce. She's not talking about XRP or Ripple or anything in this clip. But John Deaton took this opportunity to say, I look forward to the Digital Chamber of Commerce joining the fight versus the SEC's overreach in the Ripple case. The DCC filed an amicus brief in Telegram, a pure ICO case. In the XRP case, the SEC attacks the token itself, independent of Ripple. Perry-Ann Boring and the Digital Chamber of Commerce involvement is welcome. So John Deaton is welcoming them to the party any moment now. Then Kristen Smith, who runs the Blockchain Association, had an entire thread here. She says, if you've been paying attention the past few weeks, there's a lot of evidence of bipartisan vibe shift on crypto, contrary to the media narrative that pushes a polarized split on the issues. Here's what I've seen. Anyway, she goes through a whole thread, but never, ever mentions Ripple or XRP. And to this day, neither her nor her organization have done anything to publicly support Ripple or John Deaton in his representation of 66,000 plus XRP holders. So what I said to her is, the last time there was supposed work on behalf of the industry, and that would be the Venture Capital Working Group, remember that? The last time there was a supposed work on behalf of the industry, we got a free pass for Bitcoin and Ethereum, which has lasted for 3+ years, I think, while everything else was left in purgatory, intentional in my opinion. This and the fact that the Blockchain Association, Kristen Smith, haven't made any public statements in support of Ripple or John Deaton keeps us skeptical. So forgive us if we're a little skeptical there. Now, I got this out of order. Let me see if it was, yeah, I think it No, I didn't get it out of order. Someone replied in this thread with an open secrets on Darren Soto. Remember, Warren Davidson, who we've been talking about, is partnered with Darren Soto in Congress to do the Token Taxonomy Act, which we now know was more or less written by the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance, okay, which is why Warren Davidson has been catching some heat. Well, turns out it's not just Warren Davidson. Here's the open secrets on Darren Soto. Number 3 donor is Blockchain Association, and that is the same association who has done nothing, no public statements, nothing for Ripple or John Deaton, and so we have to point that out. And we can also point this out. This is TAIG. He says, if you're disappointed in what you learned about Warren Davidson working with members of the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance, by the way, I have no problem with Warren Davidson working with the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance, and I have no problem with him having a meeting where a lot of the people from that are there. Where my problem comes in is where Warren Davidson is not doing anything other than talk about the Ethereum scandal, okay? He hasn't asked for an investigation. Neither has Soto, neither has Tom Emmer. None of them have. So that's where, and look, Tom's going to tell these guys have the information. John Deaton has now met with Warren Davidson, and we're going to make a list of the Congress people that John Deaton has provided with all the information they need. It's not any question marks. It's very obvious. The facts are not in dispute. And we're going to make a list of those congressmen, and we're going to keep a score as to what they're doing. Not saying, but doing. Are they calling for investigation? You'll know because we're going to tweet it out. Now, TAIG went and found who is running against Warren Davidson. And look, I'm not telling everybody that you should support this person. I don't know anything about this woman. I don't know what she stands for. Me, it's not, you're not going to vote for somebody just because of crypto, but that doesn't mean that this is not something to look at, okay? Because look, if Warren Davidson, if he's in bed with the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance, and all of this has been just a show to make it look like you're on the fence, and you know we're just being political and don't want to say anything about Ethereum or whatever. If that's where he's coming from, then he deserves to get voted out. But I'm not weighing in on that completely yet, because we're going to sit back and watch and see what he does, not what he says, what he does. All right. Now, this is cool. I like this. This is interesting. Ripple had put this out. ETHgate is real. Look, he did a Ethereum free pass search on Google, and this is what comes up. ETHgate is a conspiracy theory that Ethereum received a free pass from regulators. These critics reasonably claim that the Securities Exchange Commission allowed Ethereum to move ahead while doling out hasher treatment to XRP and other rivals. Okay? I bet these people love having this graphic on Google. I mean, it's basically saying that all of these, it's got in red that they need to be investigated and all this. But look, hey, if the shoe fits, I mean, if nobody's going to dispute the facts, and this is what I said about this write-up, if the critics reasonably claim it, then why is it labeled a conspiracy theory? The facts are not in dispute. That's why they called it conspiracy, which means it's true. In other words, all these people that will not comment on any of this because they can't, call it conspiracy theorists. I think the guy, I don't remember his name, one of the consensus lawyers, I think he called us a bunch of conspiracy theories and tried to make fun of how we've shown more video of him than his mother has or something. But he doesn't ever dispute anything in the videos, doesn't try to explain it, doesn't try to go into any of that because he can't. And that's the reason that we're right, and it's not a conspiracy. Okay, now, moving along. I'm not going to go through this thread, but you need to. John Deaton did a whole thread on why the Hinman speech emails equal a settlement, okay? And so go through this on your own time. He's at John E. Deaton 1 if you want to go check it out. Then the SEC yesterday said today we announced an award of $1.25 million to a whistleblower who provided specific and credible information that prompted our staff to open an investigation that resulted in a successful action. Now, if this guy got $1.25 million, I feel like I'm owed a lot more than that, because I'll give you the number here in a minute, just one of the parts of my whistleblower alert. But after they did this, I rehashed for Friday, yesterday, one of my whistleblower alerts where I showed them this. Remember that Bernie Madoff ran the largest Ponzi scheme in history for years right under the SEC's nose while they were warned. He turned himself in and the SEC was called inept. They won't be able to use that excuse this time. The world is watching. Now, so then we've got this, okay? I found this morning. Joseph Lubin was at a, it was called Ethereum. It was a conference in Wyoming, I think. And it was on March 22nd. So I'm issuing another whistleblower alert. And this one gives the SEC an actual figure in the staking, which is interest-bearing stuff, crypto interest, okay? Gary Gensler specifically said that that is a security. And he threatened to go after Coinbase Lend. He made them shut down over this same thing. So we know this is a security because Gary said so. All right. So I said emergency whistleblower alert, March 22nd, 2022, crypto staking interest products security, according to Gary Gensler, who stopped Coinbase Lend for this very reason, in progress. Ethereum 2.0 security issuance is imminent. Where's the SEC? And I always also asked, why is Congress sitting on the sidelines and not even commenting on this travesty? Ripple is sued. Coinbase is threatened. Same rules don't apply to Ethereum. Picking winners and losers. And I copied all these Congress people in who they owe the public a comment on this, not riding the fence. They owe action to the public, not sitting on the fence and letting John Deaton come and meet with you. And, oh yeah, I hear you. And then they do nothing. That's not acceptable because the facts are not in dispute. Remember. Now, if somebody wants to dispute them, they're welcome to come on my channel anytime. I'll have John Deaton on here. We'll go through the timeline. They can dispute anything in the timeline that they want to. We will talk to them about it. Okay? Anytime, anybody. All right. So let's play this clip for you. This is Joseph Lubin on stage, and
we hit 25.
This guy immediately gives you the figure. Think about how huge my whistleblower alert is worth to the SEC. So my reward, 1.25 million, is nothing compared to what my reward should be. Surely, because I think he says $25 billion in staking.
We hit $25 billion worth of Ethereum now staked in Ethereum 2. So ready for when we get off to the races. When I interviewed you in Miami, that was what, 6 months ago, 7 months ago, you said you thought Q2 or possibly slipping into Q3. Robert Dross, who's sitting in the front row, said, oh, it's definitely coming Q2. Well, we're in March. So
It wasn't Robert, it was James that said that.
Oh, it was James. Okay, thank you. So, to the audience in the room and beyond, what is your update on expected timing for the update, whatever we want to call it, and what will the effects be? We heard some people say, it's not going to help with gas fees. Others maybe hope otherwise. What are going to be the big benefits when we get ETH2?
So, as you keep saying, we already have ETH2. ETH2 has been running for quite a while. We now call ETH2. In fact, we don't have ETH2 anymore. It's called the consensus chain or the beacon chain.
Rebrand.
And rebrand. Ethereum 1 is rebranded to the execution chain, and the merge is happening surprisingly on that same time frame. So
that SEC is my $25 billion whistleblower alert. I believe this could be your biggest case ever. And I gave you the whistleblower alert. So please look into this for me. Now, next thing. She's asking about, now this is interesting. This is in the same conference, okay? This woman is a VC. And she's asking about, no, wait a minute. She's basically saying, wait a minute. I know this whole Web3 thing's decentralized and all this. But explain to me, what about all the venture capitalists that were heavy into this early? What about that?
Hey, Joe, it's Bonnie. So on that note, Web3 represents a really exciting vehicle to do mass transfer of knowledge, wealth, and power for an alternate future. But what's your take on the VCs taking such a huge equity stake in this game so early on? And this being a VC myself, so just being a devil's advocate here. So we're talking about democratization, but is it truly democratized?
They all know it's not. They all know it's BS. Let me go through this before he answers, and trust me, his answer is complete nothing, just complete BS. Web3 was centralized from the start. It was VCs and banks, folks. And the decentralization thing has just been a marketing term all along. They came up with this to create Joseph Lubin's own reality. Those are his words, not mine. The disguised whales from the ICO are everything. An audit of that ICO is everything, because that tells you what this really is. That tells you who really controls it, and that's got to be done.
So VCs will do what VCs do.
Look at him holding that elbow.
And we prefer working with VCs that are more collaborative. VCs that don't really aggressively try to write everyone else out of around. And so I hope that those VCs out there that might hear this understand that, many VCs recognize that sort of behavior and don't appreciate that sort of behavior, and a good reason for VCs to work together, maybe in the context of a DAO even, and enable more investors to participate.
Hey, Joe.
All right. What did he say here? What did Bonnie say, digital asset investor? Wealth control and power for an alternative future. Oh, me. Now, TAIG had made me aware of something I did not catch either. I haven't seen this yet. Ripple attorney Mary Jo White filed a subpoena to One River looking for any communications between Jay Clayton, One River, and more. Okay, now check this out. Zero Hedge had put out this article. One River, it's increasing. Now think about this. Jay Clayton, who is responsible for all this, folks, is now at One River. And remember, he went on CNBC and said he didn't know anything about these. Then we went and found that he did know all of. He said he didn't know about these companies that he's working with while he was at the SEC. Then people went back in his calendar and found out, yeah, you were meeting with him all the time. What are you talking about? So he lied about it. Okay, now he's at One River, and Zero Hedge is quoting One River. It's increasingly clear that the future of finance runs on Ethereum. I mean, boy, oh boy. These people, we live in one sick world if these people don't get what's coming to them, folks. I mean, it is disgusting what this is. Well, this person replied, and with this Ripple subpoena to One River. I didn't know this happened, but here it is. Schedule a subpoena to produce documents to the defendant, Ripple Labs. They're asking for all basically any kind of communications with One River from the SEC and about Jay Clayton, all documents reflecting communications between the company and Jay Clayton in 2020, 2021, about Jay Clayton potentially joining the company in any capacity, including communications related to ethical issues relating to such a position. Man, there are I don't think it's just the 63 emails that they can't ever show us. I think it's things like this. I think there are so many things that they can never show us. And I think John Deaton's right. Settlement is, what did he say? The Hinman speech, emails equal settlement. I think there's all kinds of communications and documents and different things that if they're ever about to be forced to be shown in this case, that they equal settlement. Because this thing, it's like, you ever stepped in dog crap and then walked in your house and you don't know you stepped in dog crap and you're like, man, what smell? That's what this is like now. And like I said yesterday, you can just about, if it was possible, maybe it is possible now, who knows, you can smell this through my computer. It is that just all of this is awful what's going on. It makes me sick to think that this is, and maybe I'm just older and wiser now, but this is sick, that this is the world. This United States of America, the land of the free, the home of the brave. This is our country now. These are the people that get away with this kind of stuff. This is what we are. It's what a travesty, what a sham, and what a shame for our children and their future. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that this is all one big